plays up. They haven't been on the same surface cap.
Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. The Raiders heading out to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. A little juke.
Wrap up.
Still moving. He's at the 50. 30. 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're about
first down. And his throw here's incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in. Oh, what a juke into space. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. John Brown. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders on just 2 plays have taken the lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up, they have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Strong running at the 30. And some room to maneuver. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs, 76 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously.
Field for Waller. And got his man complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play there for the Raiders.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. John Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just sharp. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
No tight end had more catches in 2020 than Darren Waller with 107. The 3rd most by a tight end in history. Maybe we should just take the label off and call him an outstanding receiver.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league.
Decided to the 15, a nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. Ben to throw again. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time.
Waning moments of this one. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Rasul Douglas picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick back on Jacobs from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's
breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me with enough touches, he could easily crack the 15.
Touchdown Raiders! Darren Waller, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Raiders have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Why mistakes, though? Because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really... And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take advantage of field pitch. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also, what happens when you get this big of a deficit? You're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Carr now to throw. And he'll look downfield for Waller. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This, like